talking about Wagner Bortolato, the Brazilian beast, Caveman Christ, Jack Jesus. Needless to say, he's a bad, bad dude. And this is a guy that I get asked a lot of questions about. Frequently, people are seeing me train my left. They're like, hey, are you going to go get revenge on Wagner Bortolato? Don't you want to pull that guy again? Don't you want a rematch? I'm like, have you guys not seen his Instagram? Hell no, I don't want a match. But we'll get to that later. So I'm a big fan. I'd watched Wagner Bortolato back in the mid-2000s, just running through people at 110 kilos, left-handed WAF World Championships. I don't know how many Brazilian national titles he has, but he's pretty much won everything. Needless to say, he's an animal. That celebration victory is probably one of the best ever. But for a long time, I was watching Wagner and I thought, I think my shoulder press is better than his. Now, not saying I would have finished better than him or had higher, placements at tournaments. I just felt press for press, I was stronger. Now, I admitted that he had a stronger hand than me and was able to take top rollers and just force them inside where I didn't have that ability. But I felt like inside for inside, I could beat the guy. So I was super excited about finally getting to pull him. But in 2009, my pride took over, and I was in Arm Wars in Manchester, England, against Yoshinobu Kanai. He had beat me right-handed the day before, so I wanted to make a statement. And I was up 5-0. And then they took a little bit of time to fix some lighting or something, about 10 minutes. Came back. I thought I was going to put on a show. Apparently, that guy's arm came back 100%. And I ended up in about a 6 or 7 minute match with Yoshi Kanai, and I did all kinds of damage to my elbow. It was bad. A month later, did it again, pulling at Mallorca against Martin Vodak. And I don't know if you guys have seen that epic match with me and Neil Pickup on the beach. I'm just setting up and my arm's making all kinds of crazy noises. So the reason I tell all that is because a few weeks later, it was the World Championships in Italy. And it was my first time to ever pull Wagner Bortolato. Ready, go. I drive in real fast. Boom, catches me. Smacks me pretty bad. I didn't have a very good performance that day. But I still knew, hey, I got that press in early. If my arm was healthy, I think it'd be a great match. So a few months later, my arm's healed up pretty good. I was talking to Neil Pickup about who I wanted to pull at the Cine Combat show. And he's going to get me Wagner Bortolato. Now, this is May 2010. But I had a title match in January 2010 against Terrence Opperman. I drive in on Terrence, pretty good control, smack, do it again, control, smack. I don't know if it was round 3 or round 4. I cannot remember. I think it was round 4. I think I'd put on pretty good matches the first 3, control everything. Round 4, I hit in, got position, and I backed off just a little bit because in Arm Wars, they want you to make a good show of it, right? That was a bad idea because then this dude hits me, and my arm makes pop, pop, pop real bad. Long story short, somehow I end up winning 4-2. Got a fast pin in there. But then I've got ice all over my arm. By the time I get back home, it's black and blue from here to there. Knowing there's some pretty decent damage in there, at the time I didn't have health insurance, so I didn't go to the doctor. But I'm just expecting, hey, it's probably decent. It's okay. I'm back benching. I'm lifting. About 3.5 months later is my match with Wagner Bortolato. So when I get to London and I do my interviews with Neil Pickup the Friday before the competition, I tell him, my arm may come apart, but we're going to find out. Because I wasn't going to back off a little bit. I hadn't warmed up because if I feel any pain or tweaks or anything, I may not go 100%. So on go, I'm going to jump right in there and see what happens. But first, on Saturday, we had the right-handed match. I was definitely the favorite. I was the reigning Arm Wars world champion. Ready, go. I'm going to catch. He hits a shoulder press. I think I've got him stopped. My elbow comes off the pad. Boom. He gets the pin.
Reputation. Whoa, huge hit from the Brazilian. He's driven off the pad. Oh!
And I'm pissed. I can't believe this dude's just beat me right-handed. All right, cool. I'll walk off stage, get back in there, and I drive my own press on him. And I get in there, and I look at him, look back. He screams in my face. and I plant him.
But he tried for the press there, and Wagner was equal to it. It's not as easy as Michael made it look, but now he's into the press. Oh, monster.
I go 4 more rounds where I've got pretty good control. By round 6, I top rode him. It was a pretty good day for me. So we're leading into Sunday's competition. Match 1, me and Wagner Bortolato left-handed. All right, so match 1, ready, go. Boom, I hit the shoulder press. I start nodding my head because I know there's a lot of cameras and this is going to be on Eurosport, and I'm going to put on a show. I back off of my shoulder and pow.
Michael Todd told us yesterday he will meet this guy in the center of the table. Bone to bone, and away we go. And Michael is locked into his power press. Oh, no! Oh, the arm has broken. Michael Todd's arm is snapped.
The arm goes. Neil Pickups, the arm is broken. The arm is broken. Everybody's freaking out. Wagner's grabbing my arm. It's a crazy situation, right? Well, they're sitting there. They're still filming. I look up at Wagner. I'm like, well, right before that thing went, I was in that match, wasn't I?
I told you I was strong in there.
Michael still, I told you I was strong in there.
I just felt on that day, had I had a healthy arm, I would have came out on top. Needless to say, not the outcome I wanted. So I get back home. Turns out the arm's not broken. It's a medial collateral ligament that ripped off the bone. The flexor mass rolled up the forearm, and the elbow dislocated about 6 inches. They went in my knee, dug out a hamstring tendon, and rebuilt the elbow. It's never quite been the same since. I have won the UAL world title, a handful of other titles with it, numerous national titles, but it's just not the same as the right. And during that time, Wagner took a break. I get a phone call from Gabby probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. She's like, hey, I'm going to do the first ever Gabriela Vasconcelos tournament. Would love to have you and Rebecca come down. I'm like, great. Who am I going to pull? Well, we have this super heavyweight Paulo. He's very strong. You're going to pull him. Well, a couple months later, like, how about Wagner Bortolato left-handed? And I'm like, how about no? Because I knew this dude. I've been watching him on his Instagram and stuff, and I could tell he was back training and looking jacked. I didn't know quite how big he was, though. I show up in Brazil. I win my super match right-handed, and here he is, Wagner Bortolato, 297 pounds. So I remember at one point, I'm laying my head in her lap, he's laying his head in his lady's lap, and Rebecca and I are looking over his forearm because it's like laid up like this. It's about this big around. This whole meat on the outside, I didn't even know people had that. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble. But I'm still going to go 100%, right? Now, like I said, my left's not great, but sometimes it's pretty good. I'm not thinking this was one of those times. I get up there, and I'm going to commit. I'm going to hit that shoulder press. Ready, get. I don't know what happened. That dude smacked me so bad it was ridiculous. I didn't get a chance to do a shoulder press. So then I'm thinking, I look at Rebecca, I'm like, I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe I missed the go. All right, so ready, go. Same damn thing again. I'm like, I don't know if I can do anything with this guy at all. Because I'm still trying to get my shoulder press. I think round 3, he smacked me again. And at this point, I look at Rebecca, I'm like, I can't do anything. So then he like slow pulls me. I don't remember what happened, but once he pins me, he like wants to rub my hand through the pin pad. I don't know what was going on, but couldn't really do anything about it, so I just had to kind of ride that one out. Round 5, he wins and lifts his hand up in victory.
Come on, Michael!
Nothing I could do. That's a bad man. I'm a 260-pound guy right now. Would love to pull the man right-handed. I don't think I think I'd be a heavy favorite, but I have no desire to pull that guy left-handed. unless he loses like 100 pounds or he's asleep. I don't know, something like that. But that's pretty much my story on Wagner Bortolato.